Howdly doodly do. I don't even know what episode this is, but I'm sitting down with a lot of gratitude in my heart for this project, for how it's just moving right along. And I think all 47 of my listeners, I just love y'all and appreciate the ride we are on together. Yeah, let's have a little talk today. But let's start with a big breath in. And let's let it go. Today's episode I'm calling Hey You, Trailblazer. And I want to talk about this energy of being someone who is here to pave a new way inside of your family lines. Specifically, your family lines. And I want to start with a little story. It was around 2000 and, it goes as far back to 2009. I was a junior in college at Purdue University studying animal science, just a little committed cowgirl in every way. President of the rodeo team and the equestrian team. And, if you know me, you know that your girl is not afraid of a leadership role. And it's just always kind of been that way. But I was beginning to feel into what lied beyond my time at college. Side note, I was the first person in my family to go to college. So there was some trailblazing already happening there. I have just the best parents who have made their lives work so beautifully and loved us so deeply, all et cetera, et cetera. And some of you have that experience as well. Some of you have parental relations that are more challenging. But as with any time we're speaking to our lived experience here and those who have imprinted upon us, I love bringing in this energy of neutrality for the sake of our own personal growth. So with that, I'm about to leave college and I'm like, what am I about to do? And I think that we all have people in our lives that when we have this seed that's planted, like an internal desire, if we're willing to lean into that and we plant that seed with a trusting heart, that the universe or God will send someone along your path who will help spark the fire and ignite that desire, ignite this path that you're wanting to go on. And that very much happened with me because I knew I had this small belief, but I didn't know how I could ever do it, that I wanted to leave Indiana, that I wanted to go live somewhere else and experience outside of my home state. And this was pretty unheard of in my circle, in my family, and the people immediately around me or that I had been exposed to. It was like, nah, like you're raised in Indiana, you stay in Indiana, I was going to the school of agriculture. Hello. It's like, find you your farmer husband and start having babies. And for some reason, that was just not where I was being called. And so this trailblazing energy that came through so many decisions, and including that one. So to make a long story short, I ended up getting an internship and then a full-time job in Oklahoma and living there, starting my career in the horse industry there, having this incredible time in my early 20s. Like, I was kind of a wild girl. If any of you guys that knew me back then, your girl was a little wild, and your girl loved seizing opportunities and making the most of every everything in front of me. And I just loved that chapter so much. And even inside of that chapter, being exposed to the horse world and the Western world, and I internally started to feel the lack of diversity inside of that world. So again, another seed or desire was planted that I wanted to go see the planet outside of this Western horse entrenched environment that I had been in for several years. This was around 2013. So the seed was planted with a trusting heart, and here comes God, the universe, delivering someone who helped me make that a reality. It happened to be my lover at the time, but he just gifted me this incredible experience going to Thailand. I was the first person in my family to have a passport, to travel internationally, trips that big. And there that trailblazing energy was. And so what I'm finding now, especially, and I feel like my friends who spend time with me through this podcast, you may also experience a form of this now or at some point in the next 20 or so years. We are entering a period of deep expansion in our personal worlds and in the collective. And astrologically, what's happening is really a breeding ground for us to make this firm decision. And that's, where will my path lead me next? Where do I want to go next? What kind of path do I want to blaze moving forward? And we're doing it. We're doing it inside of the health of our bodies, inside the health of our relationships and our families, our career, our relationships to money and earning money and spending money and offering healing to the world. So many of us, and you all included, I know are doing that. And so inside of blazing these trails is this constant invitation to walk alongside fear and walk alongside the unknown and the potential judgments, the blocks that come up, the sticky moments. And I love that life gets to continually remind us that this 3D through third density reality is cyclical, and there will always be moments that feel challenging and that feel like, oh, maybe just like playing it super safe or staying in my bubble will be better for me. But when you have these desires that by their own mechanism are designed to pull you forward into new timelines for your life, versions of your life that feel like a dream. And I think if I were to sit down and go through my photo albums of just all of the experiences, the last decade, the last 5 years, all of the international travel and the immense loss, but the huge career wins inside of wellness after a big career in horses. And now here I am being called to shift again. And that is, I know, my unique design, this trailblazer feeling. And I go back to the trusting heart. Can I trust my heart that so deeply wants humanity to win, and also wants my family to, and my children and my partner, my community to experience heaven on earth? I want that. And I know it's possible. And what are the steps to get there? To me, now I'm learning the steps are to continue expanding my knowledge, my tool set, my skill sets, to continue filtering out and using these strong practices of discernment and boundaries and resonance and being in right relationship. I shared a maybe like a story on my Instagram. And I spoke to being in right relationship, and maybe I'll just share that here. What does right relationship mean? My friend Laura, love you so much, she asked, what is right relationship? And I just want to read what I responded to her, because it feels like a clear response. And I said, I learned it from a shaman. My understanding, it is being in relationship and causing no harm to self or the other. And the deeper level of right relationship, as I understand it, is for our awareness to be able to hold the true interconnectedness of all things, specifically that which we are in relationship with, which is everything. Everything is connected, and I think those of us who have been on this path of healing and learning and growing and releasing our trauma and empowering ourselves through our health and vitality, we can enjoy these times where more information is going to come out to the mainstream, more information around how this is all actually built and set up. It was so surprising for me as the new U.S. administration that is speaking to the corruption of pharmaceuticals and the nutrition industry, which is a battle that I've been battling and speaking to and making the foundation of so much of my platforms for the last 8 years. And now we get to this point where it's being talked about on a bigger stage, and I'm not even that inspired to share anything about that. And that is the hilarious truth. That's something that fueled me so long to share and to help and to just be present for people's journey and wellness. Maybe now I get to sit back and rest and let the work that I have done the last 8 years, let it permeate through those that I've walked with, those that I've sat with, shared so many beautiful and even small moments with. Know that has been enough while I was doing it in this big outward way, sharing all these things, always wanting to inspire and share my process and where I'm at personally and what I'm uncovering and, hey, look at this amazing thing. And that was part of the trail I needed to blaze the past 8 years. And now the trick and the funny part is the winds are shifting again. And just like my horse work went nowhere the first time around, this wellness work is really going nowhere. It's just going to change form. I get to figure out how to use AI and more supportive tools to just get the really profound and beautiful healing work that we've done, the courses and the trainings that were just built on this foundation of desiring to serve. I never needed to make a bunch of money from any of it. I was so grateful to earn enough to create my life in a way that allowed me to live humbly along the river and travel and open a yoga studio in my hometown and save a little bit. And, that was so beautiful. And my prayer is that in this next phase where I'm shifting and expanding and professionally stepping more and more into new creative outlets, I can just trust that my baby, the wellness baby, all of the hours that I spent on that camera, just in that whiteboard, just diagramming things out, that those who are meant to be served by it, they will find it. And my job is to just nurture that and get it set up and keep moving, keep expanding, keep trailblazing. And I think everybody listening has an area like this in your life, an area where you are creating new patterns that you've never seen before, creating new realities and ways that which you get to live your life and show up that you've never seen before, or that people immediately around you haven't seen before. It is so vital for us to stand together and surround ourselves with others who can see the magic of these times, can feel the potential of this leaning in, and people who also are disciplined enough to keep showing up for themselves and to do the hard shit and to sit with the discomfort of uncovering limiting beliefs and traumas. And yeah, that shit ain't comfy. So as we enter comfy cozy season, may we just not forget that power in continuing to show up, letting it change along with the seasons. But that's the lifestyle that we get to live now as illuminated beings, expanding beings, trailblazers. I pray for that fluidity and that stability, and for us to all keep moving forward. And with that, I'm going to take a big breath in, and I'm going to let it go. Thank you.